Welcome to What's Wrong with Wolfie. My name's Jason, and everyone's left me, so I'm on my own. But don't worry, I've got a guest, so let's just jump in. We didn't get a chance to record the TV shows of 1997 before Rich had to leave for a work trip, and Chris is recovering from the Isle of Wight festival. So unfortunately, you're just stuck with me this week. But don't worry, I found a guest who was willing to come and chat with us about their time on GamesMaster and his favourite 90s stuff. The only person to hold 2 GamesMaster golden joysticks, has a sickening talent for Cuphead, and is a top bloke all round. Please welcome to the Wolfie Pod, Mr Christian Dinh.
Hey, hi. Thanks for having me, Jason.
No, that's right, mate. Like I say, thank you at short notice, because as I just said, Chris has just been partying at the Isle of Wight festival all weekend, so he's knackered, and Rich is buggering off to a work trip in Paris, of all places. So, it just left me to it. So thank you so much, as I say, at short notice, to pop on and just have a little chat with us.
Oh, pleasure. And they've just left you by yourself to do all the hard work.
Well, there's nothing unusual there, so don't worry. As I said in the intro, the only person to hold 2 GamesMaster golden joysticks, and that must be
asterisk. There's an asterisk with that, because a couple of celebrities hold some. But
I don't know
you have to say cross generation. You have to say, yeah.
No, they're not normal people, are they? They're celebrities. They don't count. So we're going for there's no asterisks here, mate. You're the only person with 2 golden joysticks. And
I'll take that for now. Yes, thank you.
And we're gonna got a few questions for you to ask about your time on GamesMaster and the challenges that you did to get these golden joysticks. And I mean, I assume they're pride of place in your household, are they not?
They are. I mean, for me, a lot of my friends and that they make fun of me for having them, but they are.
Jeez.
They do have pride of place in my house. They're on a shelf. I dust it regularly. So,
Good.
Yeah, sparkling.
I like to meet your mates who take the piss out of you, because
always.
That's just bang out of order. I mean, like, you can't just go down Home Bargains and pick up one of these, can you? So,
well, I'm sure someone has, and sprayed it gold somewhere.
Yeah.
They make fun of me all the time with my golden joysticks.
So what we're going to do, we're just going to have a chat about your time on GamesMaster, and like I said, the challenges, and then we'd just like to find out a little bit about some of your favourite 90s pop culture stuff, your films and TV shows and all that you watched back in the day.
Looking forward to it, yeah.
Yeah, but of course, before we do any of that, we like to get to know our guests a little bit more. So I've got the 10 Would You Rather questions lined up, ready and waiting for you. So if you're sitting comfortably, we'll jump straight into those.
Yep, let me just lean back in my chair and prepare. Actually, sit up. I'm ready for it, yep.
All right. Would you rather wear winter clothes or summer clothes or winter?
Winter clothes or summer clothes or winter?
Mm-hmm. So are you one of these people that walk around in shorts in -2 Celsius?
Oh, God. I prefer... No, yeah, I'm a summer clothes in winter.
So you are one of those persons that walk around in shorts?
In work, I'm wearing shorts all year long.
Oh, okay.
So in the snow. Yeah, so it's become natural. My legs are accustomed to it now. So now I'm always in shorts.
Would you rather play Super Mario World or Super Mario 64?
Super Mario World.
Would you rather talk like Yoda or breathe like Darth Vader for the rest of your life?
Probably breathe like Darth Vader, because I already breathe like that already, so that's fine. Yeah. So.
Oh, you do? Wow.
No, I'm kidding. Oh yeah, Darth Vader, definitely.
Would you rather play Jet Set Radio or Crazy Taxi?
Crazy Taxi.
Would you rather be a character in a video game or in a movie?
Oh, I'll go movie, because that was my dream when I was young, to be in a movie.
Nice. Would you rather watch the Super Mario Bros. Film or the Street Fighter film?
Street Fighter.
Would you rather live twice as long or win the lottery?
Win the lottery.
Would you rather play Tomb Raider on the PlayStation or the Saturn?
PlayStation.
Would you rather have to sing everything you want to say or talk in rhyme?
Oh, talking rhyme.
And number 10, would you rather watch Babylon 5 or Star Trek Deep Space Nine?
Oh, I haven't seen any of them, so it's a good question. Babylon 5.
Nice, good answer. I think I've asked this quite a few times now, actually, and I've had just two people say Babylon 5, and one of them is you, and the other one was Ash.
2, you see. That's a good number.
Yeah.
All right, Ash.
Yeah,
okay.
Ash Versus was the other one that said Babylon 5.
Oh, great company to be in.
Yeah, yeah, and that spurred me on to actually try and watch the whole series of Babylon 5, because I never really gave it a chance back in the day, and I have actually gone back and watched a few of those, of the first series of Babylon 5, and actually quite enjoyed it.
I was just going to ask, and feedback? You enjoyed it? Okay, that's good.
Because I'm very much a Trekkie. I've always, that's kind of what got me into science fiction, and took me down that path and such. So Star Trek was always chosen above anything else. So that's why I don't think I ever gave Babylon 5 that chance, because it's like, well, it's not Star Trek. It's not going to be as great. So I'm just not going to bother watching it. But actually, even in the first series, there actually are some really good storylines, and some really good characters as well, actually. But it's just in the production and the set pieces, they kind of let it down a little bit. But
right, okay. I was going to say, are you trying to sell it to me now to get me into Babylon 5?
Yes.
Seeing as I chose it, I'd rather watch. So I should stick to my word and watch it, right?
Yeah. They're all on Amazon Prime, ready to go. So, there's no excuses.
I can't even say I don't have Amazon Prime, but I do.
Can't get out of it.
No, I can't.
Excellent. Well, some great answers there, and of course, you definitely chose the right Super Mario game. So well done for that as well too. Is there anything in particular that you like Mario over Mario 64? What
I just feel there's more going on. Just feel like it's more action. I felt with Mario 64 it was a bit not as many things going on at the beginning. Maybe that's just my vivid memory of it, and I'm just more used to the way Mario World played. Just the usual side scrolling, jump in, platform.
It's just it's
really good at it. So
game, isn't
there?
Yeah, that never really been replicated since. It's a bit more I would say not more simple, but just the world, the environment is just more. You're just going left to right, and maybe you have to go up to maybe find things that are hidden, like a coin and that. But I just really enjoyed that kind of a platform game, and just going through, because you could obviously speed run it or spend time finding all the secrets and shortcuts and things like that. So that's the main reason. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, and it's just got that SNES feeling, hasn't it?
Yeah, so and the SNES is my favourite console of all time.
So. Oh, you've just answered one of my questions that is coming up.
There you go. See, I felt that coming, you see.
Did you?
So I thought I'd preempt it. No, I didn't.
Let's jump into your gaming history. Where did it all start for you?
Well, I did have an Amstrad CPC 464. So that was my earliest memory. But I wasn't heavily into gaming then. But I did have quite a few games. Then my parents got me an NES, which I always wanted, because I saw the adverts on TV. Everyone had one, and they finally got me that. But couldn't get many games because they were quite expensive. Yeah. Like £40, £45. So I wouldn't have that many games. So I just played to death what I had. But it was only when I got the Super Nintendo. That's when I had more pocket money, saved up for it. Did, chores at home to earn extra money to buy games and things like that. Borrowing games with friends.
Yep.
So that's when I really got into gaming, and I just played every game I had to death. it's like, you have a game, and even when you get bored of it, you'll put it down. But then 5 minutes later, you're itching to play something. You just turn it back on again and just play.
Yep.
Go through the same levels. It's kind of like, for me, it's a bit being like a games tester where you're just playing every.
Sure.
You're so bored, you've got nothing else to play. You just go each level, just exploring everything. Just get the most out of the game you can. So yeah, that's why I have such fond memories of the Super Nintendo.
And
because it's when I spent most of my time playing.
Yeah, and I understand what you mean. Like, especially if you got to a certain part in a game, you just couldn't get past, and you got quite annoyed because you kept dying, but you kind of really just wanted to carry on playing games. And it's like,
yeah.
So
100%. I mean, nowadays, if that happens to me, I'll switch off for a bit.
Yeah, it's for the best sometimes, isn't it? Yeah, it's for the best. Definitely. And what about from the SNES onwards? Did you carry on?
Yeah, it was a strange time because I went through a switch from early 90s in my early teens and into my late teens, going into college. That's where I almost stopped playing games altogether. Sure. I became the most casual player you can be. So I would buy the systems and have it there.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't really play. I'll buy a game and play it a bit and just put it down. I wouldn't, really spend time to get into every game.
Oh yeah,
because there's too many things on in, with college and friends,
there's
girlfriends, and things like that.
Other things to do at that age, isn't there?
So which
games.
I regret. I should have just kept it going.
Yeah.
But that's that second part. I did have all the systems. I had all the Sony PlayStations. I even had an Xbox 360. I delved onto that side for a bit. Mm-hmm. But mostly I was a PlayStation guy. I had PlayStation, 1 all the way to 5 now. But I had N64, GameCube, things like that, but just not, I would say, a real enthusiast for games. Just really casual.
Yeah.
Just to have it. I just like to have it. I would just buy it and then hardly play it, just to have it at home. But yeah, that's the part I really regret, because I'm going back now and wanting to play all these older games that I didn't get to play, things like that.
I'm exactly
I just
the
wish
same.
I played at the time. Yeah.
There seems to be this like block of time where I just missed all these great video games. And
yes.
Even Rich 100%. Turns around to me sometimes, or someone else says, have you played Max Payne before? And I'm like, no. Did you play Dishonored? And I was like, no, I didn't play Dishonored for some reason, and all these other kind of games from this kind of time period. And it's like, now they're all available on the Xbox as well. A lot of these games are anyway. So they're easily accessible, and then remasters and reboots are coming out with these older games as well. So it's a good time to be a gamer, to catch up on all these games. But yeah,
to catch up.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one that had this period of my gaming life that just seemed to pass me by.
Yeah, I mean, the only problem with that is, I know they're all readily accessible, but there are so many now that you're playing catch up too much, and then you still got loads of new games coming out. Yeah, modern games. It's time. That is the most. That's the
biggest enemy to a video gamer.
That is it. I couldn't get it out, but you got it out for me. Time. Having time in a day, there's not enough hours.
Yeah.
Just to play these games. So I am playing catch up, but it's a very, very slow process.
Sure.
To pick wisely.
And you've already mentioned that the Super Nintendo is your favourite console out of all the ones that you've owned. And why the Super Nintendo? Is it just the form factor? Is it the particular games that are on it? Was it just something about those games on there that just...
It was, it's not the best console. I've enjoyed better games on different consoles, but it's just the period of my life that I got to spend the most time and have the most enjoyment playing. Every game I had, like I said, I would go through and play it properly, inside out, make sure I was really good at every game I played. And it's just the time I was able to dedicate to each game. And then all the multiplayer games, I had a multi-tap, so I'll always invite friends over and we'll play 4-player games like Bomberman, things like Rival Turf, just all games that you wouldn't... I was into the import as well, so a lot of Japanese games I was buying, and then just loved it. I had the most fun, the best time. It's just thinking back of the best time of my teenage years. I enjoyed those early 12, 13, 14, 15 ages of teenage years, and that was prominent. That was the main system we would always turn on. So, yeah, that's why I have the most fond memories of it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was quite late to the Super Nintendo, and I didn't buy one until much like closer to the end of its life.
Oh, right, okay.
Because I was more of a Sega kid. And
Sega kid, huh? I was definitely Nintendo.
I kind of felt like you was wiping me off the bottom of your shoe then.
No, I'm kidding. It was weird because there was that Nintendo Sega. Well, I called it Sega back then. It was weird. Mm-hmm. Now I'm saying Sega, but yeah, Nintendo versus Sega, and we always had to pick a side because I never had a Master System, Mega Drive, anything like that.
Yeah, because that was my first console that I owned. Was my brother had computers. He had the Spectrum ZX, and Atari ST, and those kind of things. And I got introduced to video games that way. But when it came for me to get a console, the first one I picked up was a Master System. So I kind of natural evolution was to pick up the Mega Drive,
and then your Mega Drive, yeah, same. It's like you say, it's the natural evolution. You just go with the next one up
because that's what you know, and it's like and even in the PlayStation Saturn era, I didn't buy a PlayStation. I bought Saturn. Don't regret that choice. I had some great times on the Saturn and some fond memories from that machine. And I did the same thing that I did with the Super Nintendo. I picked up the PlayStation when it was, when they revamped it and called it the PS1.
Right,
that kind of like little
quite late,
version. That's the PlayStation that I owned and kind of caught up that way. So, but when I did pick up the
so you were playing catch up then, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so but when I did pick up the Super Nintendo, I was like, Jesus, why didn't I get this like earlier? I mean, it's and
that's good. That's good that you thought like that. Yeah,
and like when we get on the show to the we're in 1997 in the timeline of our show right now, and we're getting close to the but we're there. We're in the year that the Nintendo 64 was released in the UK.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a nice special episode about that. But that was the real turning point for me with Nintendo and my kind of path with Nintendo, and obviously with Sega dropping out the hardware market. I'm very much a Nintendo fanboy now. So, but Sega always has a soft spot in my heart, and it will never go away, especially for Sonic as well. Much fondness for that. But we're not here to talk about me on this show. We're here to talk about you.
I mean, it's funny because when I was in college, I had a business lesson, and my teacher talked about early brand loyalty, where they'll feed it in early in your early life, and it's in your subconscious, and you'll just have a brand loyalty to whatever it is. And in his example was McDonald's over Burger King, right? So if you get fed McDonald's young, you'll grow up always sticking with McDonald's.
Oh, okay.
Even though Burger King may have nicer burgers.
Which they do.
Yeah, there you go. But you still, something about McDonald's, you just stick with it. And that's what I was like with the Nintendo. I was like, no, I've always got Nintendo. I'll still go around my mates and play his Mega Drive. But I was like, nah, it's not the same.
Yeah,
Nintendo. Super Nintendo.
No, I mean, it's true as well. I mean, the Mega Drive was a really good machine, and like it had some great games on it, but there was just something about the Super Nintendo that no other console had at the time, and I don't think it kind of has now. I don't know. There's just something about that machine, and I don't know if it's the sounds and the sound effects.
100% I felt that at the time. If I would play the same game on, say, the Mega Drive port, I think this is terrible compared to the SNES version. But it could be my bias playing into that as well. But it was something about the graphics, the sound. It wasn't the same.
Sure.
I don't know what it was. But that's why I always said Super Nintendo was better than the Mega Drive. Sorry, Mega Drive owners, but that's just how I felt at the time.
We're all allowed our opinions, even if they're not right. It's fine, Chris. Okay.
I still think I'm right, but yeah.
And it was with the Super Nintendo and, specifically Donkey Kong Country that brought you to your first GamesMaster Golden Joystick in Series 4 of the show.
Yes.
And this was all done, obviously, around the time that the game was just being released. It was on a Donkey Kong special show.
Yes, it was, yeah.
And did you have any idea that, you would be playing Donkey Kong Country when you got to the studio, or was it like a total surprise to you?
No, it was a surprise when we got there. They just told us what we'll be playing, but they did give us time they told us early on in the day, and I remember we got to the set early, I would say about 10, 11, and they didn't actually film us until about 3, 4. So they told us when we arrived, you'll be playing this, and we have a copy for you to practice. But in terms of practice, we didn't get much practice. There's 3 of us playing it, so they said they'd give us 5 minutes each, but it turned out to be more like a minute or 2 just to fiddle about each. Yeah, because it was, I don't know if they've been overrun, but for example, when they told us to go and play, we went into the room to play, all 3 of us. By the time I've had a go, they called me into the next room to do makeup, which is basically just a bit of powder on the face. But they said, "Oh, Christian, can we have you in to do a bit of makeup?" So then I'll hand the joypad over to either Tim or Sharif, and they will have their quick turns. But we didn't really get that much practice. It's just really to familiarise with the mechanics of the game, you know, get a good feel of it, jumping around, rolling about. That was it.
Was the game actually released?
I don't think it was. No, because I do remember now that it was an actual cartridge in the thing, but I think they might have had an early version. I don't think it was released yet.
Yeah, so that must have been quite exciting for you as well.
Because I think it was more released the time where it aired. I'm not too sure, because we filmed it a good 3-4 months before airing.
Oh wow!
So we did get to play it early.
That's really exciting then, you know, especially for such a landmark title that was Donkey Kong Country.
Oh yeah, it looked great. I thought, wow, the graphics were amazing at the time when I saw it.
Yeah, definitely. To you know what the Rare managed to squeeze out of the Super Nintendo for that game was amazing, and I do remember picking it up myself on Boxing Day. Actually, must have been of the year it was released, and it was wonderful. What was it like? Just being was it quite nervous being there? Did you walk around the set or anything before?
No, we weren't. We weren't allowed to really. When I arrived, I remember going in to where inside, and they showed us quickly what it looked like. Then we basically spent the whole time outside.
Okay.
We were sat out. There was tables set outside, and we just had to sit there hanging around.
Was it the summertime? Hopefully.
Yeah, it was. It was. I believe. Yeah, because it was. It was around summertime. I came with a friend who was also on the show, so it was all right. We were just hanging out, and we met up with. We formed a little group with another 2 contestants. So there's just about 4 of us sitting there on the table. We were just talking. So time flew by quite quickly because none of us came with our parents, where all the other contestants that were filming on that day had parents or some sort of guardian with them. So they didn't hang around with us. They was at their own tables. So time flew quite quickly, but yeah, really, we were just sitting outside waiting around for them to film different segments. And they also had the celebrities come in. I think they filmed 3 shows a day. So on that day, there was 3 celebrities. And, whilst we're chatting, sometimes one celebrity would arrive, go to their trailer, and we'll be like, "Oh, who's that? Oh, can we see? I wonder if we can go speak to them," things like that. So that broke up the day, made time go quite quick.
Yeah. Were any of the celebrities actually interesting ones for you at the time, or were they like, "Oh, who's that?"
Yeah, I mean, the celebrities that filmed on my day was Jimmy White, which I didn't have much interest in.
No,
I mean, my dad was more of a fan of Jimmy White than me. RoboCop, which is not really a celebrity; it's just a person in a RoboCop suit. Well, RoboCop is a celebrity. Sorry, take that back. How dare I say that? But yeah, RoboCop. But yeah, not much interest because the third celebrity was, I only had eyes for this one, which is Natalie Imbruglia, which at the time was Beth from Neighbours. That's how I knew her, which is many of a young boy's crush. That's all I cared about. When I saw her, I didn't think about anyone else. I did want to see other celebrities, but I thought, no. Make sure when she steps out the trailer, we need to speak to her.
I can imagine like Natalie Imbruglia was probably like exactly how you saw her on TV.
Oh, she was.
Yeah.
She was, I think she was only like 18 then. When I was like 14. So, yeah. It's like, she's within distance. I can, this is reality. It's not like some movie star out there that is, no, this is, she's right there as well. Yeah. I was like, oh yeah. Wow. Oh, wow. She looked exactly the same. I mean, she did just have a haircut. So how I remembered her was Beth from Neighbours with long hair.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just tried this new cut, which she did mention on the show, which is a short kind of boy cut.
Mm-hmm.
But still, she's so beautiful.
Yeah, definitely.
That's all I remember.
Very jealous. Very jealous.
When she came to speak to us.
She came over, did she?
Oh, yeah. She was the only one that came and gave us
she?
time of day. Yeah, she spent about good 15 minutes with us.
Oh, wow.
It was just us four. Yeah, she's just talking. She sat there, but she had nothing to do either. She had to wait.
Sure.
You know, she's had all the makeup done. They had to wait for her turn to film. And she came out and just sat with us. And that's what I use at work. I tell whenever at work we have the radio playing, and whenever Torn comes on, and I'm like, oh, I had a lunch date with her once. And they was like, no way. I said, you're lying. I said, yeah, lunch date. I didn't mention that other people were there, but it's just, I was still had lunch with her, you know, spent time talking to her. So I was like, my ex.
And you didn't have a Game Boy camera to take a picture?
Oh, no cameras at all, which is it's just the memories ingrained in my brain. That's it.
I'm sure that they probably wouldn't allow cameras where you were at that point, I guess, maybe, or...
Yeah, no, I don't think they would have, no. But I don't think... I'm trying to think what cameras, apart from, there was a real camera or a disposable camera, what other sneaky things could you sneak in there to take pictures? Nothing.
There isn't.
No phones, there weren't, no.
Not back then.
No,
I think
it was 94, yeah. Mm.
But, not like now. I mean, if you were the 14-year-old now and, I don't know, Ariana Grande walked in or something, then, you know...
Oh, the phone is out straight away, isn't it? You just see everyone, their phone's out, ready for the selfie.
Selfie ahoy.
Yeah. I have the memory really vivid in my mind, so that's good.
That's the most important thing.
We got a hug from her, and I just remember going home on the bus after all filming, and I was... like a giddy fanboy. I was like, I'm never washing this shirt again.
I knew you was going to say that.
It was, that's how I was like, that's all I can, I know I had the golden joystick in my bag.
What, on the
plastic
bus home?
Bag, on the bus home. But all I was talking about was, I am never washing this shirt again. And I was smelling it and it still smelled sweet, like a sweet impost that I don't know what she sprayed on, but it was beautiful. But yeah, that's what I'm not washing. I don't know if she signed our arms. That's what I'm trying to remember. Because back in the day, we would ask for signatures, right? Autographs, I mean, not selfies. And I remember her signing our arms. And I said, I'm never washing this shirt and I'm never having a shower again. Obviously, I had to have a shower when I got home, but I tried not washing my forearm. It was on the inside of my forearm. And I just got like her signature. I think that did happen because I do remember it now. It's coming back to me.
Brilliant.
I said, I'm not washing that off. Obviously, it came off after a few days.
Annoying. If only you were 18, that would definitely got tattooed, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Oh, my God. I would stop showing it off to everyone. Look, this is when my ex signed my arm for me.
Your ex? Yeah, Natalie Imbruglia.
Yeah, I went out with her once, a lunch date. Just didn't work out, you know.
And like, you know, I need to know, I mean, is that shirt still in your possession and has it not been washed? Oh,
no, I had to wash it because I remember putting it in my cupboard, not washing it, but then not going back to it for years and then clearing out my cupboard because I was getting too many clothes, pulling it out and it really stank because it probably deep piled and just had this little dampy, mothball-y smell. I thought, I has to wash it now. But I was a few years older then, so... I probably wasn't as giddy. Yeah.
Fair enough, mate.
I need to find... I did try to look for it, but it's not in my actual cupboard now. So I might have put it in a bag in the loft somewhere.
Oh, do you think you still have it?
Oh, yeah. I didn't throw it away.
Oh, okay.
I remember going through clothes to throw away, and I said, I'm not throwing this away.
You need to go and find it, and then you need to try and put it on. Right?
It still fit me, 100%. It was really big back then.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, no, I remember now. Yeah, when I watched the episode back, and it looked quite baggy on you. So
yeah, it was very baggy. It was the style at the time. Wear baggy clothes. Yeah, that's what I say anyway.
Yeah,
I think it's the only shirt I had that was, you know,
it was
something game related.
It was. So we're all demanding to see a picture of you now in your original T-shirt that you wore on GamesMaster for us to post in the Discord.
If I find it, yeah.
yeah. That's the mission now. So.
Oh no! Hopefully, it's not been eaten by I don't know whatever insects are up there. Holy shirt now. But yeah, I will have to go up there one day. I'm really scared of the loft because I'll end up there for hours. If I find something, I just go through boxes and you just be up there for hours.
Yeah. And
I'll be sneezing non-stop as well with the allergies for the dust. But,
sure. Yeah. And as adults, we don't have time for that anymore,
Yeah, exactly. I only got like 2 hours a night to spare when the kids go to sleep.
That needs to be on video games, right? Surely.
I'm so glad that she came out to give us time of day.
Yeah, no,
that's
really
what
awesome.
made me have this fond memory of her, is that she actually, went out of her way to come and speak to us. That's probably why I liked her more. And Jimmy White is still a moany old git,
Yeah, he always comes across like that. Yeah, definitely. But
he did not come out once. He stayed in his trailer the whole time.
Oh, okay.
He came out to go into film and then straight home. That was it.
Okay. And that just makes it, when I've been to conventions in the past and I've met these people that I really wanted to meet, and then they've just not even looked up at me and just signed and then
next.
Yeah, and done that. Right, and a few of them have done that. I'm not going to name names, but Lennon anymore. But
I was going to say
R.I.P.
Name them. Yeah.
Well, when you meet someone and they are totally nice to you, and they actually, you can see how busy they are and how many people want to see them, but they still create a minute or two just on you, and you just walk away with such a much higher memory of this person. But then, like I said, I've met some of these other people and they're so grumpy and dude, just give your people just a little bit of time. So for Natalie to do that for you for that amount of, especially for 15, 20 minutes.
It was a long time. We actually had a chat about neighbours and who she fancied and who she went out with. Yeah, 100,000%. It makes your view on them elevate to another level.
Did she give you any secrets of what plots were coming up at the time? Was you like?
If she did, I couldn't remember because I was just staring at her. I was just
fair enough.
It's I was drooling. I needed tissue to wipe the drool from my chin, but I was just staring because I wasn't so talkative back then. I was really shy, that I was letting the other guys do the talking, and I was just staring right at her face, to the point where it was awkward for her to look, because she was sharing the eye contact around between four of us. Yeah. Every time she looked at me, I was just staring with my mouth ajar. So it was she had to look away quickly, A
little bit of dribble coming out the corner of your mouth. Yeah.
I wouldn't even wipe it. If I wiped it would...
So she had to deal with that, and then she had to deal with that awkward Dominic Diamond interview when she went on the show.
Oh yeah. I mean, I thought she dealt with it well.
Yeah, she did do it. She did deal with it well.
She's innocent. That's just so sweet and innocent. Yeah. She didn't even know what he was playing at, but she's just innocent,
Dirty Dominic.
That was my best memory.
Yeah.
Just tops winning the golden joystick.
Yeah. I'm kind of putting myself in your shoes and thinking, would that be for me? And I think I'd probably agree with you too.
Yeah. I mean, she was one of my biggest crushes at the time, so that was why it just at the time topped winning the joystick. Although winning a joystick, I was very, very happy with.
Sure. So. And talking about winning that golden joystick and the challenge itself that you did on Donkey Kong Country, I mean, looking back at it now, it's quite a simple challenge to do.
I mean, it was quite unfair. I feel there's so many ways they could have changed it to make it more fair.
Yeah.
But I felt really bad for Tim, who was the first guy.
Sure.
He didn't know whether to, go through the bonus or go the top way. Mm-hmm. So it's quite unfair that he was the first one, and we all using each other as a benchmark. Say, no, okay, I won't do that. I'll do something else. That's why the third guy, he should have won, to be honest, because he saw Tim go one route and he saw me go one route. He had free reins to pick the best of what we did, and he didn't make it. So,
but do you think he meant to go on the top, but he didn't time it completely right?
Yes, 100%. He even said it because I think there's a window, a frame where you get automatically sucked into the bonus.
Yeah.
When you've got the rhino, and obviously wanted to go the same way I did, but he probably mistimed the jump. He didn't jump soon enough, and it just hit the frame where you get sucked in. So he hit the wall, and they'll pull him in. He's oh no, and he, I think he swore on camera, but you just see him mouth it. But afterwards, he kept saying, "Yeah, the controller wouldn't jump." He was saying, "I said, I should have won that." He kept trying to take off me. I should have won that, but it wouldn't jump. It wouldn't jump. I said, "No, it's too late."
Was you standing there watching him going, yes, when he went through that bonus level? Was you like, shit? Was you like, you know?
As soon as he went through, the inner me was like, yes, this is it. I've done it. I think I turned around to look at my mate who's in the cage in the audience. I said, I've done it. And he looked at me and he gave me the nod, like, you've done it. And then obviously I didn't show it. I just stood there all cool, hands in my pockets. But inside I was screaming. I was like, "This, I've done it.
If you were the first child to do that, I mean, do you think you still would have done the same kind of run?
That is what I've been asked quite a few times. And
have you?
I think I would have went through because when we practiced, they didn't tell us it was a speed run. So we'd never timed it when we practiced. And when we were playing, I think there was a guy who did tell us that, oh, if you go on a rhino, you can go through a bonus here. He's just telling us a bit about the level and then just leaving us to, you know, get familiarize ourselves with it. But we didn't know it was going to be a speed run. So we didn't time which way was going to be quicker. We just, as we played through, one went through the bonus with the rhino, one just jumped at the top. But we didn't think, oh, it's going to be a speed run, so which way is going to be quicker?
Sure.
If you know what I mean. So when Tim went first, natural thing is to think, oh, there's a bonus through here, I'll just go through it. Yeah. And I think I may have done the same thing. Yeah. So it was a bit unlucky. Yeah.
Because when you look at it, it's like you might think that going through the bonus section is quicker because you're literally just running from one end to the other, collecting bananas.
Going up and down, yeah.
And you're not.
I think what slowed them down is the load times for when you go in, it goes black for a bit, and then when you leave the bonus, I remember it was black screen for quite a few seconds, and Dom and the other commentator was waiting for it before they start commentating again. So it's things like that, load times, and that's why I think, to be fair, they should have done the challenge and where we can't see the previous challengers run, and turn us around or something. That would be more fair. Maybe all three of us would have went through the bonus. It's just be who does it quicker. It'd be really close, like 1 second, or depending who's quicker to get in there and out. But that would have been more fair. Probably been more closer, because I think I beat him by about 10 seconds.
Yeah, it was quite a big difference, wasn't there? But I mean, you saying about not what I mean, that's a GamesMaster thing where they've just let people watch the other person do their challenge, and I think like that's something they should have always done, is just kind of not let them see. So there's no, it's an unfair advantage, like you say. If you go first, you're kind of screwed, whereas the person that goes second or even third have got such a much more an advantage over you. I mean, I'm not complaining, but absolutely.
But that's why I said Sharif, who went third, he should have won.
Yes, he should have.
But then that's when it goes down to your performance on the day, your game playing skills on the day, and he didn't have it, unfortunately.
Or the dodgy controller. Even though it was probably
even before then, though, he didn't have a smooth run to get there in the first place. He got hit, which was better. He had Diddy Kong after when he got hit. So actually, if he did go the top way, he probably would have beat me.
Yeah, because Diddy Kong's
because he's gone faster, a lot quicker. Yes, much faster, either running or on the rhino. But before then, he was jumping about. He wasn't collecting things correctly. He was just taking long, faffing about a bit. So
I think at the start he was he was all over the shop, wasn't he? So
he's. So that's why I kept. He's trying to take the joystick off me after. I was winding him up, saying, "No, you were terrible before then. You can't blame the controller."
No, exactly. No, and it was probably the same controller you all used. So unless you
so it was his timing. It wasn't his controller. It was his timing.
Right. That's what it was. So did you tamper with the controller before you gave it to him?
No. I should have. No. I didn't even think about that. I was confident with my own skills.
Sure. So. Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't need to stoop to those levels, Come on.
was your second appearance in GamesMaster, obviously in the new series that was shown last year.
Yeah.
How did this come about? I mean, how did you hear about it?
Well,
when you heard about it, was you like, oh, I need to do this? I
mean, the news came out, there was a reboot about 2-3 months before I heard about it. So I was really late onto it. And then my mate told me, he just sent me a link saying, oh, look, you was on GamesMaster. They're rebooting it. And I thought, oh, all right. And then in my mind, all these years since the previous GamesMaster, I did say, I do want to go on, if they do it again, I would like to go on again to redeem myself, because I really didn't like how shy and quiet I was back then. It's like I was being too cool for school, and I hated it. I said, I'm going to just be normal, you know. Yeah. Because I had my mates in the crowd and really shy. I didn't want to look silly at the time. So I was trying to be too cool or something, like just being quiet. But I thought, if I get a chance going again, I'll go on myself, no friends. Don't think about things like that. Just, be yourself. And then this opportunity came, and I thought, in my head, I kept thinking, should I do it or not? And I thought, no, I'm way past it now. I'm well too old. I don't really play games to that level no more. So I won't be good, because the modern gamers are really good now. Like, I see my daughter play games. She's really good. Sure. They pick up games so fast. So I thought I wouldn't be able to compete anyway. It'd be like it's like in esports, when you get over a certain age, you have to retire as a pro player because you haven't got the reflexes. So those kind of margins, I just kept putting obstacles in my head that, no, I'm not good enough now. I won't be able to compete. I'll probably make a fool of myself, etc., etc. And I went to sleep that night just debating in my head, if I don't apply, I'll regret it. But if I apply, I'll probably regret it for how bad I will be. But in the end, long story short, I did apply, sent the email out, got a response, and found out that if I didn't email that day, 1 or 2 days later, I wouldn't have made it onto the show, because the filming was 2-3 weeks later. That's how soon it was. Yeah. So I would have missed it. I would have missed the boat. Then I would have been kicking myself afterwards, saying, why didn't I just apply when I found out? Yeah. It's one of those, and I'm so glad I applied. Yeah. But that's how I got it. He just sent me the link. I sent an email out. I said, I don't know who I'm writing to. I just saw this advert. I hope you're still recruiting. And I gave a little backstory that I was on it before, and I got a response, and that's it. And
was
it history?
Was it your idea, or was it their idea for you to bring on the original joystick?
Right. When the person who responded to me, we did a FaceTime, a Skype call, a Zoom call, and we were going through what we can do, ideas of what we could do for me. He's asking me what kind of games I play. I said, I just wanted to get on, so I said, I can play any game. Any game you have for me, I can play. I don't specialize in anything. I specialize in all. I'm an all-rounder. And he's like, oh, give me games. What games do you like? To be honest, I didn't know which games I was good at. That's why I kept trying to blag it. It's like, I can play any game you put in front of me. Any game I'll be good at. I just play all games. And then he thought, what can we do? And then he went through some scenarios, like maybe do the same challenge again. Donkey Kong Country. Yeah. And I said, oh yeah, bring the original guys back, 3 of us. Then he goes, oh yeah, but how are we going to get in touch with the other guys? Sure. And probably now knowing that the time schedule was so tight, that was impossible. No way they could have found 2 other guys out of nowhere in 2-3 weeks. So we was talking about things, and he goes, oh, and then he mentioned, how about doing like a gambling, putting your joystick on the line? I said, inside I was like, no. But then I was like, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? He goes, if you lose, you'll lose it. If you win, you get 2. I thought, that sounds great. I was like, that sounds a good idea. But really I was like, no. And he goes, something like that. Or I don't know, we'll think about it. So that was it. It was just, I thought he just said it and that was it. And then as the days progressed, we were emailing back and forth in terms of what I'd like to play, what I can play. Because I think all the games I was listing were PS5 games, because I thought that's what they wanted to showcase, new games, not old games. But I didn't find out until later that they had to get clearing from the company whether they could play those games or not. And I don't think they were allowed to play most of the PS5 games. So I kept trying to say games, I was like, oh, how about Ratchet and Clank? Because then I went out and bought Ratchet and Clank to practice it. I kept saying, how about Ratchet and Clank? That's like a, that could be a challenge. And they said, no. I thought, oh, damn it. I just bought it for nothing. Then that's when they came up with the challenge. But they still didn't mention about the Double or Nothing joystick. That was a forgotten memory from our first chat. Yeah. And only on before the show, there's like, we're still thinking of what we can do with you. I mean, this is the game you play, but we're still thinking maybe involve the joystick. I said, oh yeah, that'd be great. And then they told me, bring your joystick just in case we want to go with that storyline. Yeah. And it, and then he did mention about, we either lose it or we could smash it. And I thought, oh, smash it? I said, yeah, but probably won't, but we just play with some of these ideas. I said, yeah, that's fine. Only when I arrived on a day, the producer came up to me and said, we're going with Double or Nothing, smash your joystick if you lose, 2 joysticks if you win. Then he said, well, don't worry though, if we do smash it, we will give you a new one.
So do you think they were actually going to do that?
1,000%.
Because when I watched it, I was like, they're never going to actually smash it. I mean, it's all for show, surely. They would never.
A lot of people said that to me. They said they weren't going to smash it, were they? But from my understanding, is 100% they were going to smash it. Wow. And it would have been good for the TV.
But yeah, I mean, it would have made good TV, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. That's what they wanted.
I think even I would be sitting on my couch crying a little bit if that actually happened. So,
I mean, I kept fighting with myself in my head. Like I said, I've always wanted to go back on GamesMaster, and now I have. But at what cost? The cost is to put the joystick on the line. So you got one thing, you lose another, and I just kept going back and forth with myself. Say, it's fine. I've always wanted to come back on. Now I'm back on. So then this is the sacrifice I had to make if I lose. So then just focus and get a game on and don't lose. Then that's the only way. And that was my mindset going through. Because when I arrived and one of the senior producers did tell me that we're going with the Smash It storyline, I was like, oh no. Then I sat there for a bit because I was early. I was the first contestant there. No one had arrived yet. And I just sat there in the green room by myself, just thinking, what have I done? What have I done? Because I was just so nervous, and I thought, I'm not even 100% on this game yet, on the Cuphead yet, right? So I'm like, oh, any percentage, I was like, oh, 60%, so that means that's 40% chance of it being smashed. I kept thinking that way, and I'm thinking, 40% going to get smashed. Come on, let's try to lower those odds. Oh, my mind was racing. My heart was racing. My mind was just like 100 miles per hour, thinking of all these permutations, what I can do. And that. But yeah, it was real. They were going to smash it. Wow. 100%. They didn't care that I've had it for 27 years. How much it meant to me. They just wanted the
good telly.
The good telly. And they did say they did say I would get a replacement.
Yeah, I know.
But I knew it wouldn't be the same one.
No, it wouldn't though. It wouldn't be the same.
And then eventually, when I did see it, 100% in my mind, I said, it's not even the same one. Imagine you gave me this one.
Yeah.
It's not even the same. It's not even the right colour. It's not even gold. It's like bronze.
No, it wouldn't have that kind of like 20-year kind of wear and tear, I guess,
It's wear and tear vision-wise, where people are staring at it. Yes, that's the one. That's the wear and tear it's got over the years. Everyone keeps staring at it. No, a lot of people, because the case is loose, and I never sealed it.
Yeah.
It's got so many handprints on. Everyone keeps touching it. Even when I arrived there, the amount of people that said, "Oh, can I see your joystick?" and they pull the case off and just start touching the joystick.
Stop it.
Inside, I'm thinking, no, don't. But I just thought, nah, this is fine. I was happy to be there.
I know, but I mean, you wouldn't wiggle the joystick, would you? Maybe.
When I first got the joystick,
I don't know.
Oh no, they were grabbing it like a proper joystick and imagining they're playing a flight simulator or something and pressing on the buttons and choo. When I first got it back in '94, and my friends at school didn't believe me, and I had to bring it in to show them. Yeah, I didn't want to show them. I knew it, but then one of my mates I did let show them. He's just picking it up like, you know, like I said, he's playing it like a joystick, looking at it, thinking, this is crap. He said, what is this? It's just a joystick. It's plastic.
Well, yeah, I mean, like,
and looking at it, looking at the cord that's being cut off, they're going, oh, they missed a bit of the sprays and making fun of me. I was like, oi, give it back now. You ain't touching it no more.
I'd like to see you try and get one of your own.
Oh, it's so funny. But yeah, it means more to me now than it did at the time.
Mm-hmm. And like, I mean, did you know how they were going to smash your joystick, or was it just...
No, I didn't know how. They just said smash, yeah.
And you saw Rav bring out that big, massive sledgehammer.
Yeah, that was the first I saw the hammer. The first I heard. When they said smash it, I didn't... I knew smash, but I didn't know how to smash. But then when I saw the hammer, I thought, ooh, no wonder they want it smashed, because it will make good TV.
Yeah.
You know, how many attempts it was just a bang, 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 because, you know, he might miss the first time, or part hit it, smash just the tip, and he's going to keep smashing it.
I mean, I know you said like 1,000% they were going to do it, but I mean, Rav himself, I mean, he's such a nice guy that I don't know if he's got it in him to have done that. Personally, I don't know.
No,
I don't know the guy
right.
personally.
Yeah,
but...
it could be, but I just know that from producers told me that the upstairs, the senior guys wanted it smashed. So then they might have just told him in his ear, smash it, you know, smash it, whether you want to or not. Well, so he would have had to.
Well, thankfully that didn't happen, because, you know, and doing the challenge, like, that must have been playing in the back of your head as well, mustn't it? Like,
yeah, I mean, I arrived on the day at 1 o'clock, and I didn't film my challenge until 9 p.m.
Blimey,
so you can imagine eight hours of just sweating,
and that kind of makes you tired as well, even more so, I guess, when you're just hanging around not doing that much.
I mean, I didn't mind hanging around, because we still there was people to talk to. I had to film the green screen segments, but it was the nerves and just the thought of not losing, which made me mentally tired. I kept thinking, I can't lose. I don't want to lose, and I need to practice and things like that. So that was the worst thing, you know, having to wait so long. But I guess that was good, because it did give me an hour or two practice during the day.
Yeah, I guess.
I didn't get to practice. Yeah, I got a solid, I would say, half an hour to an hour practice in, and undisturbed. Yeah,
and the practice paid off, because, like, I don't know. I mean, me personally, I'm a mess when I play Cuphead. I'm all over the place. That game is nails, and you know, when we saw your challenge, I mean, you made it look easy. I mean, I've done that boss level myself, and I think it took me a couple of days to finally get past those bloody toads or frogs, wherever they were. Yeah. So, you know, it was good for you to get that practice, I guess. But, and like I say, you must have been sweating a little bit for A, making sure that you do the challenge correctly, and B, not mucking it up so you lose both joysticks. It was emotionally, it just must have been a mess.
I was. I mean, I was saying to everyone, I'm so nervous. I am so nervous. All the sound guys, when they were micing me up, I said, I'm so nervous. I hope this goes well. I don't know, you know, what should I do? What should I say? I was just too nervous. All I could think about was not losing.
Sure. I mean, and was Cuphead your choice? Was that a game that they chose for you?
No, they chose it. And
was you pleased about that?
No, I heard of it, but I didn't know what it was, because I've only seen it on the Nintendo eShop.
Yeah.
And I just think I paid no attention to it. So I think the first time I played it was a few days before, when they told me that we'll be playing Cuphead, and I just thought, what is Cuphead? Why Cuphead? Where are the PS5 games? That's what I was thinking. And then I researched it. I thought, oh, this game, I do know it, but I've never played it before. That's when I had to purchase it. Yeah.
And what was it like when you fired it up for the first time and you played like the first level and you're like, oh crap, this is nails?
It was so strange, because the first level is the run and gun level.
Yeah.
So, and I thought, oh, this seems all right. But then I kept dying and dying. Midway through, dying. I thought, what is this game? I thought I should be good at these games. And I kept dying and getting hit by things I should be getting hit by. And I thought, what is going on? And then I played the next level as a boss. I thought, wow, this game is hard. And obviously I didn't know what I was doing yet. So he just said, just play the game, familiarize yourself with it. And I played for a day and I thought, this game is bloody nails. And I really did think that because the Donkey Kong challenge was, you know, like the first level of Cuphead, which is just run and gun, you know, jump over obstacles, get to the end. I thought that was going to be the challenge.
Yep.
So I practiced that first level on that day non-stop. I just played it, just that first level, because I thought this is a challenge. And I was trying to get faster.
Yep.
Either it'll be a speed challenge or it'll be finish the level with a certain grade. So I kept trying to get the best grade I could.
Because obviously, I guess you didn't know what part of the game that they were going to choose.
No, they didn't tell me. They said, we'll work something out. We'll find what your challenge is. In the meantime, just familiarize yourself with the game. And when I've played that first level, I thought, this is it. They're going to pick this level because it's the most similar to my Donkey Kong challenge back in the day. So I did just try preempt what the challenge was and just played that level. I didn't even play the second level really because I thought it's a boss. There's nothing like it. I'll just keep playing the first level. And when later on finding out, it was...
when did you find out it was that boss? Well,
we filmed on a Monday and they contacted me on Saturday, so 2 days before. I said, we're going to do a boss level. And I said, the first level? They said, no. I said, whoa, why not the first level? They said, no.
Please let it be the first level.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't want to tell him because I practiced that so much. I'm really good at it now. But he said, no, we're not doing the first level. I said, oh, so what? Then the second level goes, no, we're not doing that either. We're going to do a level that's further into the game. I thought, oh, goodness me. Yeah, that means I have to play in, you know, keep beating the bosses to get to the further levels to practice it. Because it's not accessible at the beginning. Then he told me, but obviously on a Saturday I couldn't practice. He told me, and I have work. I have double work on Saturdays, right? My day job and my family business. So I had to wait till evening to get home to think, all right, I'm going to play this level. So I have to get through to that level in the first place. So he told me what level it would be, which is the Ruby and Croaks. And I thought, okay, that's not available yet. So I have to get to it by moving down a bit. By beating a couple levels, I think.
So thankfully it was in the first area still, isn't it? So
yeah, that's right. So it's not too far. Imagine it was like one of the later ones. I thought, oh my goodness, forget it. I've lost. I just smash my joystick right now.
Smash it now.
I'll just smash it for them and just bring the crumbs to them. But luckily it was not too far ahead. But so I played a little bit at night, but I thought, okay, I'll play tomorrow. Tomorrow I had to work again. One challenge they told me was I was playing it. I was practicing with it because I bought it on the Switch because that's what I thought it was available for. Find out that it's available on Steam as well, right? So you can play it on Xbox. And then they phoned me later on the Saturday saying, "Oh, we will be playing it on with a PS5 pad." I thought, "Oh my goodness, I've been practicing with the Switch pad, the little Joy-Con."
Yeah.
So then, obviously, it's not that much of a problem, but I had to readjust. And then on the Sunday I had to work, and then come the evening I had to re-practice with a PS5 pad. I had to go buy one of those USB dongles to stick into the Switch to be able to take the Bluetooth of the PS5 pad. And yeah, I was panicking because I was like, oh God, this is not much time to practice.
Sure.
It's hard as nails. It's about learning the patterns and what to do. Well, and with that level as well, it has that random element.
I was going to say, isn't it?
Because jukebox, yeah.
When it turns into a till, isn't it? A cash till, and then you've got like 3 different options that it could be, and it could be one of the really easy ones, or it could be one of the one I hated.
Was it the bouncing balls? Was that the one you hated? Yeah.
And I was like, when that one came out, I was like, no, don't want that one. So you had that randomness as well, I guess, and
yeah.
Luckily,
so I had to keep playing to get each one and try and practice each one.
Sure.
And then just hope that I get the easier ones on the day. And even going into, I couldn't stay up that late because I thought I had to get up early and be fresh for filming.
Yep.
So then even when I went to sleep that night, I was only about 30%. I kept dying. So I was keeping like a little tally chart with every time I played. Imagine this is you on the challenge, play. Lose, I just mark it, lost, play again, win. And it was about 30%. So I played 10 times, only beat it 3 times. I thought, oh, this is not great. maybe wake up early tomorrow. But
Yeah.
I did, you know, wake up early, turn it on for about 10 minutes. And then I thought, you know what? They told me I could practice on the day when I get there. So
Yeah.
when I got there, I can practice. And that's what I had in mind, that I'll go there, practice it to death. Find out they only gave me about half an hour to an hour to practice. But I think that was enough, because then I think sometimes when you over practice, it's not as good as when you take a break. You practice a lot, take a break, let your mind rest, and you come back to it. And it was a lot better. And on that day, I got it up to, I was really to the point where I was so confident I can do it.
Yeah, and you smashed it. Like I said, you made it look easy in the end for that challenge, and you managed to get your second golden joystick. And I mean, I was wondering, you know, which one you prefer, but I mean, I mean, if it was me, it'd still be that one that you got in '94. Would be the
I mean, they added the GamesMaster logo to the new one, which is nice. So it makes it more unique and special. Yeah. But the old one's just a bit shinier. Mm-hmm. It's just got that gloss, and I've had it for so long. I've looked at it for, you know, good close to 30 years now. So I can't say I like the new one better. I like the old one.
Yeah, definitely. It's got that bit more sentimental.
Yeah, definitely.
To it as well, isn't it? So
definitely, yeah.
You know, that was the day you met Natalie. So, you know,
my ex.
Your ex, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, now I look like a stalker because I follow her on Twitter.
Do you?
It's just like stalking her now all these years.
Have you sent her a message or anything? Again, I was that little boy that you talked to.
Do you remember our lunch date we had all those years ago?
I was that weirdo that just stared at you with a little dribble.
No. Oh my god!
Just see what reaction you get.
No, I'm too scared to even make that. I have not messaged her once. I'm too scared. But you know what? I might do. You know, just to say.
You never know. Just go. I remember you. Yes, you know
that boy.
You were my favourite. You know, if she turned around and said that, I mean, that make your life, wouldn't it?
It would. She's like, you're the one I was trying to avoid eye contact with because you're just staring at me. No. I think I'll leave it just a nice memory. That's it.
You might taint it, mightn't you? And you don't want to do that.
Exactly. No. No tainting.
No tainting that memory. No. No. Okay. Well, that's awesome, man. Like, it's such an exciting part of your life to have been involved in 2 sets of different GamesMasters and a TV show and all this kind of stuff. So it's just really cool.
Best time of my life. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, you know, the birth of your children. Nah.
Oh, why do you remind me? Why did you have to put that in?
That's not, you know, you can't topple the GamesMaster appearances, you know.
Yeah, no, I hated being at hospital, so no, this is definitely the best time of my life. Yeah.
It's cool, man. It's cool. Well, let's just finish the podcast with just learning a little bit about your favourite 90s stuff. And I'd like to find out a little bit about our guests' favourite 90s movies and TV shows and stuff. So what's some of yours, you know, like favourite, you know, when you look back to the 90s and you kind of think of the films, you know, is there one that particularly pops out at you?
Oh, I mean, I like to take it back to early 90s, so my younger teen years, rather than say the late 90s when I was a bit older. They were like the best times. I mean, even late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, I was constantly watching cartoons. I do a lot of my favorites are technically 80s that crossed over to the 90s. Yeah. Or I was still watching them in the 90s, but you know, it's a bit unfair. Like cartoons like Thundercats, Visionaries, Jason the Will Warriors, you know, Dungeons and Dragons.
Nice. Yep. They
were all like the 80s. Going into the 90s, what technically, I don't know, Captain Planet. Obviously Turtles as well, that crossed over from 80s to 90s, didn't it? Ghostbusters, Alvin and Chipmunks. I loved all those. But I do have to say the intro musics for the 80s cartoons destroyed the 90s ones. I loved it all. 100% better. I mean, Gummy Bears, come on.
Oh, yeah. You gotta love the Gummy Bears, right? Yeah, definitely. The raccoons, you know, the raccoons.
Oh, raccoons, loved it. Yes, it's just, they were the best times of cartoon watching, because I remember my parents were always busy and I'd just stick a cartoon on and watch it in the late 80s. Yeah.
They just put so much effort into creating these cartoons, and, you anything that you put a lot of effort in and polish and you work really hard at, you're going to get a good product out of it at the end. And those cartoons and stuff, Count Duckula as well, and Danger Mouse. And
I mean, just say going back to like say Thundercats and Visionaries. I just remember the animation for the intros were just so good. Obviously, when the show actually started, it didn't look as great. But
they didn't have as much budget for that bit,
Yeah. But the intro, the songs, the animation, how the camera pans, it's just so good. But in terms of the cartoons, those are like my favorites.
We must mention, Super Ted as well. Otherwise, I feel Matty Boo might jump out of Discord and punch us in the face.
Super Ted, yes, of course. Don't forget Super Ted.
No,
one of the classics, one of the goals. In terms of TV, if I had to pick one out, I mean, I watched so many things that, again, as I said, like Quantum Leap, which technically 80s to 90s.
Yeah.
I was into all the Baywatch, Beverly Hills 90210, Power Rangers. My favorite that I watched the most was, because of my age, was probably Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Kind of relating to them being in school and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they came out with California Dreams, kind of like using the same producers and that. But Saved by the Bell was my all-time favorite. I used to watch it. I used to have such a crush on Kelly Kapowski.
Didn't we all?
That was my, I mean, to be honest, I did fancy them all, but Kelly Kapowski was the one.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my best memory of the early 90s show that I would probably watch the most. I even taped it, the whole series, 1, 2, 3, and just rewatch it again when I was bored at night. Things like that. I mean, there's so many shows. Sweet Valley High, I watched the range of what I watched was strange. Everything, like Sister, even the British shows like I loved Art Attack, game shows like Finders Keepers,
mm-hmm.
Funhouse. I love Chuckle Vision. I would just say Chuckle Vision. Yeah, I love that.
Beautiful.
Chuckle Brothers. Those are mainly like the American ones. I like Blossom. Even the Lois and Clark, New Adventures of Superman.
Good choice. I was wondering if you was going to bring that one up.
Oh yeah, really. I mean, I thought Dean Cain was a stud right then. He was a stud. He was so good looking. But that's what it was.
We weren't watching it for Dean Cain, though, were we? Come on.
No. I was just saying he was a good Superman. Well, I thought so at the time, anyway.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not so much these days, but.
I mean, the late 90s, I got into shows like 70s Show, and one show I have heard so many good things about that I regret not getting into because I never even watched an episode, which was Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Really?
I know. I might have to watch it. I've heard so many good things. So many good reviews for it.
Sure.
And I just never watched it at the time. I don't know what I was doing. No. I'm trying to think. What was it? When was that? Like 97? Was the first one?
It was 97.
And it went on to the noughties, didn't it?
It came out in the UK because I wanted to pick it for my TV show pick for when we do the 97 picks, but I couldn't because it didn't come out in the UK until 1998.
Oh, 98. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so it came out in 97 in the US. We were still in that kind of time period, like when shows came out in the US and then we got them, 12 years later.
12 years later.
It's not so instant as it is these days. So
no.
So I couldn't choose. I was like, no, I've got to stick to my rules a little bit here and not choose it. But I mean, I think like with some of the shows that you've already mentioned, like Beverly Hills and Sweet Valley High, and it's kind of it's got
they're
that
like
kind Buffy's got that kind of that the love part of it with Angel and this and the other, but it's got that other section as well with the Scooby Gang and going out and killing vampires and such. And it's just a good mix. I think you'd really like it.
Probably would. I just don't know what I was doing at the time. I mean, 98, I was 17, 18. I just don't know what I was doing. I was an idiot. I don't know what I was doing.
I was late to Buffy the Vampire. I didn't watch it when it first came out. I remember catching up. I remember buying the VHS box sets and then just like power watching through them late at night and watching them that way. And, so I was quite late to the party with Buffy, but not as late as you, apparently.
Oh yeah, I mean, I might start watching it tonight. Actually, that's very late.
Yes, do it absolutely.
2022 to watch my first Buffy.
Yeah, and it was
episode.
when we had Dominic Diamond on, and we asked him about his TV show, and the TV show he mentioned was Buffy the Vampire Slayer as well.
Yeah.
So
again, that was one of the good reviews I heard about it. So
there you go.
I've never seen it. I can't believe it. Film-wise, yeah, no, I try not to tell people, but yeah. I mean, film-wise, one that gave me the best memory I remember is when the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
I was so young, and I had to get a pirate copy because the hype around it was so big, and for me, I was like, I wonder what they're going to look like. What they're going to look like, because I couldn't imagine how they're going to do a real life-size Turtles on movie. So in my mind, I was like, I really want to see what they're going to be like. So we managed to get a pirate copy, and the copy was so dark. It's imagine watching like an old VHS upload onto YouTube where it's just so dark and grainy, noisy. You just can't see anything. So
and it's quite a dark film as well, anyway, isn't it? So
I just remember watching the first scene where I can't remember who it was. Raffleson pops the head up of the sewer, and it was so dark. I'm like, oh, I can't see. And I was like, and there's all my mates were crowded around one little TV trying to watch this pirate copy and trying to see what they look like.
Turn the colour up more.
And it was so bad, like we had to hit on the video tracking to try to track it to get a crisper screen. It was that bad a copy. Don't know who bought it. I can't remember who bought it, but they got conned. They got duped.
Yeah.
To buy some dodgy cinema. I think it's probably a cam version where someone's gone into the cinema, recorded it,
yeah, definitely.
And sold it on the market, and we got it.
I had a Lion King version like that, and it was taped in America. So like at the end when it comes up, the Lion King goes poof, and then like everybody stood up and started clapping and cheering and yelling. It was hilarious.
I remember some copies of films I've had where you get the camera will start tilting, then you get people standing up, blocking your view.
Popcorn getting thrown.
Oh, God, it was horrible.
But the worst is the silhouette of the person walking along, isn't it? When they go into the toilet or whatever.
Yeah, that's the one that I was talking about, when they get up and just walk across. Like, But I still watched movies like that back then because I was so desperate to watch these American, like you say, we wouldn't get it until like probably a year later, so we couldn't wait. Couldn't wait to get it.
I think my mum picked up a pirate copy of Terminator 2.
I saw Pirate, yeah.
And I must have worn that tape out. The amount of times I watched it, it was crazy. But I was too young to see it in the cinema, so to be able to just to watch it at home anyway, I never would have gotten in there to see it. So it was
I mean that's one of my favorites as well, Terminator 2. But when I was scarred early. I didn't want to watch it because I want to watch Terminator the first one and RoboCop. Those two films scarred me because just too much blood and stabbing, and I was like, I was quite young, and when I saw that, I was like really scared. I watched it by myself, especially RoboCop when you got that Kurtwood Smith, right? He's such a great villain, but there's just a couple scenes where it scarred me. Like at the end where RoboCop gets the spike out of his hand and just stabs him in the eye.
The worst part was when the guy was melting from all the toxic waste on him, and then like they just drove into him and he just exploded.
That's what I mean. I was like 9 or 10, I think 10 watching that film. I was like, oh God, what is this? I was so scared. And even the Ed 209 scene when he gets introduced to everyone.
Yes.
And then he just shoots the guy. I don't know how much blood was coming out of him there. And then what cracked me up was that someone said the line, "Somebody want to call a goddamn paramedic?" I was like, a bit late for that, to be honest. But yeah, those films just scared me. I didn't want to watch the second one, but when I watched T2, I loved it.
It's such a good film.
I was scarred.
That we named the podcast after a line from the film.
But yeah, another film I really loved was because I was such a big martial arts fan as well, so I was into like Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee films. And when they made Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I haven't actually, no.
It starred Jason Scott Lee, no relation, but I used to think, are they related or not? But I really loved that film in that it told a story that I didn't know about Bruce Lee, right? Whether it's 100% true or not, because it's obviously from one person's eyes, right? But I really enjoyed that film, and it was good to see that Jason Scott Lee, who played Bruce Lee, when I was watching with the kids Mulan recently, the live action one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He turned up. He's the main villain, Boro Khan. So I saw him. I thought, oh wow, look, it's Bruce Lee. I was telling her, that's Bruce Lee from back in the day. And she's like, who's Bruce Lee? I was like, oh no. But it's just things like that when I see old actors that pop up later, and I'm always like, I remember them, and it just brings back a memory. And that's why I just brought back the memory when I watched Mulan. I thought, oh, Dragon. I really loved that film because I really loved Bruce Lee. But yeah. Well, if you ever have time, I know it's hard to find, watch it. It's good.
I've seen the live action Mulan, and I really enjoyed it. Actually, I thought it was a really good film.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, I heard before. It's one of these things where I don't want to hear any opinions before I watch a film, but people be saying, "Oh, Mulan is terrible. It's terrible. It's so bad. It's so bad." I watched it. I enjoyed it. My youngest enjoyed it, and whenever she enjoys it, I enjoy it. So it's good.
Yeah, definitely. Well, excellent. There's you've got some good tastes in there, Chrissy. So no, it was really interesting to find out some of your favourite 90s stuff. So
one film before you go. It's a Hong Kong Jackie Chan based film, and it has a scene in there that I loved so much. Even the comedy is so slapstick. I don't know why I laughed it so much, but it's a film called City Hunter, Jackie Chan, right? Out in 1993, and in there, they did a Street Fighter scene, which you could probably, if you type it in YouTube, City Hunter Street Fighter scene, you'll see it. It's about 3 minutes long. But it's so silly. It's so silly watching it now, but so silly at the time as well. But it was the first time you see like a film that did Street Fighter and any kind of characters of Street Fighter in there with the moves like the Hadouken, the Fireball, the Dragon Punch, things like that. But I loved it for that. So that was a scene that sticks in my mind whenever I think of 90s and Street Fighter. I think of that as well. So City Hunter, Street Fighter, guys, you could YouTube that and watch the funny scene. I mean, the guy who played the villain, he was Ken in the little skit. He's a guy called Gary Daniels. He also played like the live action Fist of the North Star, Ken Shiro.
Okay.
But at the time I thought he would have made a perfect Ken. He was perfect. He had muscles, long blonde hair, good looking. But when he actually played Ken in that scene, it looked so bad that it made me regret. No, he's not perfect Ken. I thought he was the perfect Ken until he played Ken in that scene. You think, okay, no, maybe not.
Damn it.
So if you have 3 minutes, go watch it, City Hunter Street Fighter scene, and you'll see how bad the Ken is. I mean, they made it really slapstick and a parody kind of thing, but it was still funny at the time when Street Fighter in film with Jackie Chan, So I made sure all my friends at school borrow my City Hunter VHS so they could watch that scene.
One of the things I've never really explored at the time or never gone back to explore is like the early Jackie Chan films. And I was definitely one of those people that kind of knew of him and what he kind of did, but never really, like I say, jumped into those kind of films until he started doing the more bigger Hollywood films with Chris Tucker in Rush Hour and Shanghai Noon and The Tuxedo and all that kind of stuff. And I really enjoyed Jackie Chan in those films. And I don't know why I never really went back to and not and explore his catalogue a little bit more, because that film that you was just talking about there just sounds really good entertainment. So.
Oh yeah, I don't know if it holds up that well now, but at the time I just remember laughing my head off. But Jackie Chan, those years were like prime Jackie Chan, and he has peak fitness as well. So
sure,
if you ever have time, you could instead of playing a game, you could watch a movie. Watch a Jackie Chan movie, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. The classics, though. Yeah.
I came out with the confession that I've never watched Battle Royale to Rich a couple of weeks ago, and I think he's still waiting for me to watch that. So,
is that the one on the island where they kill each other? Right. Right. Okay. I have not watched that either, so.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I have been meaning to for the last 10 years, or however long it's been, but just never got around to it.
It's on Amazon Prime. It's sitting there ready to go. So just got to watch it.
Oh, there's too many things on Amazon Prime.
There is too many things, just like
Netflix,
everything these days. Yeah.
Everything. It's just Yeah, just no time. Again, no time. Yes.
Let's not get into conversation about all these stupid streaming services.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you so much for coming on and joining me at the last minute, having a great chat with me. It's been excellent just having you here, mate. So thank you so much.
Honoured, and it was a pleasure, and it was a great chat. Thank you for having me.
No worries.
I think I've just rambled on for too long, haven't I? I don't know how long it's been.
Sometimes
when you're in a chat, you just get carried away. You just talk naturally, and just don't forget that there's people who might not want to listen to all this nonsense that you're talking about.
No, that's great. No, that's what makes a great podcast. It's the host's job to be keeping an eye on all that. And if your guest is, all nice and laid back and just enjoying themselves and just having a great chat with you, then doing something right. So I'm glad you felt that way. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, if this is boring, it's your fault, right? Then I guess.
Yes, right? Absolutely. It's all on my shoulders. Don't worry. If it don't go down well, I don't have a golden joystick smash. So at least that.
I've locked these away now. They're not. I'm not pulling them out again. They're in a glass secured, alarmed
really?
cabinet now.
Yeah, whether you've got a security guard for the evenings.
Yeah, exactly.
If people want to find you, are you anywhere? Are you on Twitter or anything like that?
I'm on Twitter, but like I said, I'm not very interesting. So you can follow me at, or I think I'm down as Chrissy Two Sticks, I believe. Yeah, I am. Okay, so I'm just having a look at my Twitter. Okay. I don't even know. Oh, it's Christian Dinh. Sorry. Follow me at Christian Dinh on Twitter.
That's how much he uses it. He can't remember his own username.
I don't look at it. I'm too busy reading other people's things, to look at my own name,
Too busy lurking.
Yeah, exactly, lurking. Yeah, I'm not big on any social medias in terms of having anything interesting to see. So if you guys want to follow me, you can. But that would just be as in like we will be friends rather than I have something to show you, the kind of thing.
No, he doesn't post daily pictures of his golden joysticks, if that's what you're hoping for.
I mean, I can do if you want. It's just be like one post every day for a year of my golden joysticks at different angles.
Yes, exactly.
I think I'll lose. I have no followers by the end of the year if I do that. Everyone will unfollow.
Oh, he's showing his bloody golden joystick again. Unmute. Where's the bloody mute button?
Yeah, because they won't know that it's a different angle, you see. They just see the golden joystick and think, bloody hell, not again.
I mean, I would appreciate it because,
I mean, after this, I'll do one, just to see how many followers I lose from it.
It might go viral. You never know.
I doubt it.
And of course, you can find us on our Discord as well because you were kind enough to join our Discord channel. So thank you very much. You can come in and say hello to you through there as well.
Yes, come say hello, and I will answer back. I'm not that big of a celebrity. I always give people time of day. I'm like the male Natalie Imbruglia. Give time of day.
Nice.
If you're there,
Sure. The only trouble is you don't know if anyone's just staring at you dribbling. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's probably a good thing. Actually, it's probably a good thing.
Probably no one. Yeah. I don't have the same effect.
And I'll be completely honest. You probably don't because Natalie Imbruglia is just Natalie Imbruglia. So.
Yes. You know what? I'm going to message her later today.
Do it.
Because of you. You have
for it.
Gave me the courage to do it. And I will say exactly what you told me to say as well.
Yes, do it. And then go up to your loft and get your old T-shirt out.
So I've got to send her a photo as well. That's even more creepy, isn't it?
Yes, do the photos. Yes,
so,
in your old T-shirt.
Do you remember me looking like this? And I recreate the pose with my mouth open.
Yes.
The drool.
Perfect. Yeah.
And the creepy eyes just staring.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't know if you can recreate that glassiness of your eyes maybe, but it's worth a try, I guess. This is perfect. You know I really want this to happen.
If I DM her and I get a response, I will screenshot it and post it on Twitter.
Yes, do it.
I will do.
Brilliant.
I'll do that. I'll probably get ghosted, but I will do that. And if I get a response, that's straight on Twitter.
It's worth it, mate. It's worth it.
Definitely then. All right. That's my next mission. That's my No, wait until we get off and then I'll do it.
Right. Okay. Well, that's all the time we have for this week. Thank you to you, the listener, for joining us. And if you have enjoyed the podcast and would like to support us, then we do have a coffee page where you can give us a one-off tip, or if you're feeling kinder, a monthly tip starting from £1. A massive thank you to all who have done so. You're all legends. If any of that's not right for you, you can also support us by giving us a review or rating on Apple, Spotify or Podchaser. You can find the links in the show notes. We now have a Discord server, as we just mentioned, where we have been having fun discussing our top fives, including Spielberg films and PlayStation 1 games, plus lots of chat on retro and modern day pop culture. It will also give you a chance to be part of the podcast by submitting questions and stuff like that. Plus, you can also say hello to Chrissy and everyone else at the Discord server. They're all a ton of top people. It would be lovely to see you there, and if you fancy joining us and taking part, then you can find a link in the show notes too, or on our website. Speaking of the website, it's filled with links to our coffee page, to the Discord, our entire back catalogue of episodes, and much more, and you can find that at thewolfiepod.com. Next time we will have our TV shows of 1997 episode. Rich and Chris will be back, and we'll get that out to you as soon as we can in a couple of weeks' time. Chris, it's time to say goodbye, so say goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone. Look forward to speaking with you in the future, if you reach out.
My name has been Jason. Dom, it's over to you.
Well, that's it for another episode of What's Wrong with Wolfie. The boys are off now to hit the roulette table with Patricia Routledge. See you later.
Hey Janelle, what's wrong with Wolfie? I can hear him barking.